Hello, welcome back to Story Reckless. I'm Nathan. I'm the DM here, and I use he/him pronouns. And we're doing some D&D tonight, playing the Descent into Avernus campaign. And there's some crazy stuff going on because that's just how it is these days in Avernus. But it's probably pretty normal for Avernus. So yeah. Anyways, player intros.
I'm Claire. My pronoun.
This one.
My singular pronoun is they.
The singular they.
The singular they. We only use they. I'm playing Kadam, half-elf grave cleric.
My name is Olive. I use she and they pronouns. And I am playing Calliope, Air Genasi Artificer. And as always, curmudgeon. The excitable curmudgeon. Not really curmudgeon.
She likes to pretend she's a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not too much of a curmudgeon.
Only when it is to her advantage. Then she forgets that she's a curmudgeon.
Yeah. And we would normally have Enyo here, but Enyo is out today and should be joining us next week. But for now, we can do a quick recap and jump straight into it. So, last we left off, you all were deep within the Bone Brambles. You were headed for the Bone Brambles to seek out Red Ruth in hopes of finding out how to free Ralzala the Dao from the Demon Zapper. Delving into this twisted, gnarled force of bleached, bone-white roots and vines and bark, all dripping with blood. You've encountered some denizens within. The forest itself seemed to come alive and try to swallow you, but you fought it off. You found a poor, unfortunate soul who had lost their life within the forest, and a bag hanging off of them, which thankfully none of you stuck your hand inside of, but you were thinking about it. Quickly discovering, Kadam discovering it was a bag of devouring. You took it with you and continued to try to find a way deeper into the center. Calliope, using some clever tricks of trying to figure out this place, was able to determine the rough direction to go, and you eventually found yourselves in front of a kind of structure, a hovel within the center. And stepping within, you found yourself within Red Ruth's lair, almost like the inside of a stomach or something like that. This red dripping lair filled with bottles and baubles. Pip, for a moment, did the disguise self as Mad Maggie, but quickly decided to drop it, and you all...
Praise be to whatever gods are here.
And you all had a conversation with Red Ruth, asking her if she could give you this information. She said she'd be willing to give this information to you either for the price of soul coins, or if you would do her a favor, as she does not like to leave her place, asked if you would arrange for a pampering at the Wandering Emporium. Upon making arrangements, you would return here and watch her house as she goes off to have her bath. After doing this task for her, she would then be willing to give you this information for kind of free. Not really. You would do work for her, but still. So yeah, we left off with her asking you what you would like to do. So you see her there, this kind of large, bulbous mass of a person hulking behind this pool of blood in kind of a almost bird bath-like structure that she seemed to have been viewing into as you entered. Her head kind of full of wrinkles and flaps of skin sort of nestled within her large, dominating body, the rows and rows of necklaces of little tiny skulls, all faintly humming and singing nursery rhymes. She stares at you, all of you. So, how would you like to proceed?
Okay, we're good. Just more errands.
Yes.
Hey, we're in huddle. We're in huddle. We'll get to you for a second. So like huddling up with.
Excuse us.
Yeah.
Step outside, maybe.
Okay. As you walk outside, you see her just kind of sink back and watch you all leave. And the last of you steps outside, she just kind of does a quick little motion over the pool, and there's kind of a shimmer as you exit.
She's scrolling
She's
Twitter.
watching TV.
You know, I think it was in one of the most recent episodes of Critical Role where that was basically happening with the hag, and it's like, it just makes sense. Anyways, what would you all like to do as you huddle outside?
I mean, we paid those soul coins, but I kind of want to see where this wandering Emporium is anyway.
I imagine it changes, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
but once we get there, it'll be easier, right?
that's true. And I have a shopping list that I didn't, a few days ago.
Great.
Before we actually say yes, I would like to get a little more specificity on what she means by don't touch anything. Because at the very least, we're going to need, food, water, to step on the floor.
Seems good. It's good to get, specific rules with these creatures.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Pip just looks excitedly between the two of you. I mean, this all sounds great to me. As you all head inside, you see her just kind of looking down at the pool and notices you all enter and waves a hand as it.
I see.
Make a perception roll.
Life is too short to see.
18.
18. You barely catch a glimpse of what looked to be like a handful of humanoid shapes kind of moving, and then it just fades.
Okay. We have decided to accept your proposal. We'll head over to the Wandering Emporium and make arrangements.
Well, on one condition.
Ah, right.
I would like a definition of what you mean by touch nothing. Because we are at least very, currently touching the floor. And if we are to take care of your house for a while, we will be needing to touch other things.
Of course. Don't be touching anything on the walls or on the shelves. Don't be poking around in this part of the hovel. She kind of gestures to the pool. And don't be taking anything that's not yours. You're welcome to move about the space. I don't believe I'll have anything to offer you in terms of food or drink. So you'll have to provide that for yourselves. If you would like to touch or peruse some of my wares, they can be purchased, of course. And she gestures to all of the bottles and strange things on the walls.
Potentially.
Yeah, what you got?
Various tinctures and potions provide different effects. There's, of course, the useful kind that can stitch up wounds when you take serious injury. But I have others. Depends on what you're looking for.
Just browsing.
And yeah, as you kind of glance at these shelves just stocked full of various bottles. They could be potions. They all do seem to have kind of a similar blood-like quality to them, but as you look a little more closely, there are differences in kind of viscosity and like coloration in material that seems to be inside. But they all, for whatever reason, it seems like I probably Calliope and Pip, especially Pip, would recognize that the kind of primary ingredient being used in these potions is blood.
Maybe we're not so desperate for potions. Maybe another time.
Of course.
Is there anything that we should be watching for specifically when we watch your house? Like, are you expecting any visitors? Do you need us to take care of any pets?
Sometimes the forest gets restless, but you should be fine.
Great.
If you're going to be doing this for me...
She kind of reaches into the folds of her like tattered that's right, her whole outfit is made from tiny bones that are like stitched together, so she kind of reaches under as it clinks and clacks, and you briefly see that she has like bigger skulls kind of lashed almost like bandolier style, like under her arms and kind of on her chest, and she reaches into one and sort of like screws the top off, which sort of pops off to reveal like the inside of it, and is reaching in to like pull some stuff out. You hear some kind of clinking sounds, and you see her big long spindly fingers pull out 2 soul coins.
Why don't you take these with you and get something nice for yourselves?
And passes it over. You can take it if you want, but she's holding it out as in an offering, and says,
I need you to make arrangements specifically at Infernal Rapture.
and
I was
she
gonna ask.
passes those to you.
Mahati will be the host you'll need to speak with. Those 2 coins there will allow you to get yourselves some food and perhaps a bit of pampering yourselves. But just tell Mahati that Red Ruth is looking for the usual, and he'll make the arrangements.
I mean, I don't mean to cut this short, but hold up. Could you just like do your talking thing? If we just needed to give the message, do you think we could just do that?
Well, it don't tend to work unless I've met the person or seen them at least.
I bet Red Ruth could show you a picture of him. Yeah.
I would like to go myself, though.
Oh, right.
To go shopping,
Right. Okay.
if that's all right.
Yeah. Just thinking.
No, absolutely. That is more efficient, certainly.
I need to ask.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
Red Ruth,
Yes.
if you get them to deliver this message, why don't you just do it by magic?
The Wandering Emporium has various wards. It can be a bit challenging.
Okay.
It is a neutral space here within Avernus, much like the Knucklebones, but a bit more funding from the top, if you know well. I suppose you mortals would say from the bottom.
Yeah. I know it's not literally up and down here, but thematically that's appropriate. Right. Okay, no time like the present. Let's go.
I
Well,
have one question.
Yeah.
Although,
yes.
do you know anything about a hanging grove
I could.
of trees?
I could certainly divine whatever it is you're looking for. But again, do this favor for me first, or you can pay for it.
Would this be able to be tacked on to looking for Rosala's solution?
I'm afraid not. That would be two separate things.
It seems like it would be less effort to do two back to back than it would to do one for a single client. Besides, you told me you had a good feeling about me.
All right, Kadam, make a persuasion roll. It's gonna be a real high persuasion roll here.
Nope.
What'd you get?
I rolled a 9, so what? So 17.
That's very good, but she just looks at you.
Those are two separate things.
Very well.
Now, let's find out where Mahati and the Wandering Emporium are.
She extends her arm and holds it over that slab again and takes out the kind of needle-like bone and just stabs her arm as blood spills out onto the slab. Looking down at it, very, like, quizzically, and then sets her arm down as the blood starts to get pulled back into her. She kind of squeezes her hand, looking over at you.
The Emporium will be at the blood fields of Ulok. It will take you 3 hours to arrive there. Now, go.
We go.
Yeah. 3
Okay.
hours is fine.
All right. You exit out of
As we
the
walk
hovel.
out, I'm like, okay, let me get this straight, just to Lyra as we're walking. Okay, so we are going to the Infernal Rapture to talk to Mahati, to tell Red Ruth, tell them that Red Ruth is coming for pampering. So then we can go house sit for Red Ruth. So afterwards, Red Ruth will divine for us the secret to how to free the Tao over at the Demon Zapper. So we can get, or like kind of talk with the unicorn up top.
Mooncolor, yeah.
Mooncolor, yes. And so we should bring Mooncolor to Archon. And then Archon will then tell us where the Bleeding Citadel is.
Well, no, he's going to go then talk to Tiamat.
Oh, right.
Hopefully knows where the Bleeding Citadel is. He will then come back to us, tell us where the Bleeding Citadel is, and then we go there and retrieve the sword, and then we do things with the sword, and then Elturel gets back to the surface.
This is hell. This is absurd. I'm embracing it, but this is hell. I can see. I haven't seen bureaucracy this bad since, I don't know. I tried to get vacation day. You just take vacations. They don't give you vacations. You just gotta take them. That's the trick.
You know, I've heard of vacations.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, what? A day off was, going to the wide growing up.
You never, traveled around, did something?
Well, I traveled around the city.
City ain't that big. There's a lot of other places in the world.
Well, sure, but remember, I didn't leave Baldur's Gate proper until, whatever April was of this year.
I guess when you do something, you do it big. That's wild.
Oh, evidently. We are, I imagine, walking back to our vehicles.
Yeah. I will need one more survival roll.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Navigate out. I
Bad
shoot.
feeling about this.
I don't have Pip's stats, so I'm just not going to count Pip in the group total.
Okay.
So it'll just be the two
I
of
got
you.
a 6.
You got a 6?
What
Okay.
did you get, Lyra?
So Valor rolled a 5,
Okay.
and I rolled a natural 1.
Okay, so there's... Okay, interesting.
I got the highest.
Fascinating. Okay.
Oh no. Oh, I heard a roll 20 roll. 1d4, we rolled a 1. That's exciting. What could it mean? We spent 1 hour just wandering around. Oh no! Does that mean that we missed the Wandering Emporium? Hopefully it's there for more than 3 hours. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. She said it would take you 3 hours to get
So
there.
it'll take us 3 hours regardless.
So it takes us 3 hours to get out, and it's right outside.
It's right outside, yeah. That would be incredible. Okay. You you try to find your way out of here, and it's a hellish maze of dripping bone white brambles with
Should have left
the
a string.
petrified faces.
What were we doing?
You come to another dead end. As you are turning to leave, you both see some of those petrified bodies and faces in the trees seem to suddenly kind of shift and move, and you watch as they sort of pull themselves out of the bark, and you see these kind of almost fey-like features, like almost elven-like features, but very twisted and kind of drawn and in pain almost. Creatures pulling themselves out of the bark. There seem to be 3 of them that are sort of pulling out and looking down at the group, sort of in the path that you were about to be leaving from. One of them, the face sort of twisted into a kind of agonizing scream. With great effort, pushes it, seems to force its face into a more neutral position as it stands and looks at you, and you hear this kind of creaking. Well, actually, first, do either of you speak Sylvan?
I think Pip might.
It does.
Pip does speak Sylvan. Shoot. Okay. So Pip will understand. From Pip's perspective, here's this twisted figure that's kind of hanging off of the brambles into your path, 2 others behind it all staring at you, and you can start to see this kind of ethereal, almost bluish white light, kind of like almost like smoky white light sort of starting to spill out of the cracks of this figure. It looks to Pip and goes,
"Mortals, please show me the wonders of life again. Please, please."
And it starts to kind of like jerk towards Pip. Pip, sort of stepping back, looks at the 2 of you and translates. This being here, it's asking me to see the wonders of life? Oh, you got any ideas?
Pretend to be Red Ruth. Leave.
I pull out my water skin.
Okay.
Would you like, I say in Elvish, would you like water, a drink?
The face cracks towards you with a loud looking at you, and it sort of tilts its head and then drops down onto all fours and skitters across the ground right up to you and kind of bends up right in your face, looking down at the water skin, and reaches and grabs it, puncturing holes in the water skin. Sorry, your water skin is destroyed in the process as water starts to spill out all over the arms of this being, and it hungrily just holds it there and lets it spill over the body, this bleached white bark-like body, and you start to see red rivulets of blood starting to run down throughout as it just seems to be enraptured by this water that eventually dissipates.
Can we start moving away as this being experiences it?
You move past this being, and the other two are sitting there looking at that one, and then they both look at you, Kadam, and in Elvish they start to skitter towards you.
Oh, we want something too. Give us something. Show us.
And they skitter up to you and start clawing at your clothes and pulling you in close.
I will give them some food.
Food?
Rations that I have on me.
Okay. You pull the rations out, and one of them grabs onto it and starts to shove it into its mouth and sort of smash it into this strange kind of drawn face of petrified wood, and just starts like mashing the food between its mouth. The other one looks hungrily and greedily and then back at you.
I want something new. No,
it smacks it out of your hand.
Give me something new. Something fresh.
I'm going to give
Here. I got something. And I'll pull out the rabbit's foot lucky charm.
Okay.
That I got off of that drow. We're like, it's a real rabbit.
It turns to you and sort of skitters up, looking down at the foot. Grabs onto your hand, and you feel it's like dry, bony gripping you, looking at the rabbit's foot. And it just puts it into its mouth. Your hand kind of goes in as well. You're able to pull out, feeling kind of dry, splintery wood as it just lets the rabbit's foot in its mouth start to just sit there. It just sits there with its mouth open, seeming to be caught up in whatever this new experience is. What do you all do?
Let's get out.
You start to walk away, hearing the sounds of these beings sort of exhaling air as they're being caught up in these trinkets that you've given them. You can hear the kind of mashing of the ration between the strange bark-like mouth of that one figure, and eventually the sounds dissipate as you wind further and further out.
Shame about that water.
Yeah, I can make more.
Okay.
I try and smell our vehicles. Like, can I smell metal and demon ichor?
Demon ichor, yeah, for sure. Go ahead and make a survival roll with advantage. Okay. Everybody else, go ahead and make a survival roll.
I rolled even lower that time.
Wow, a 4.
Nathan, we're never going to get out of here.
Nathan, we're going to run out of rabbit's foots.
Okay, I rolled a 13. Bella got a 7.
Y'all.
Uh-huh.
You continue to wander through here, feeling utterly lost, coming to another dead end. In this dead end, choose to do with this what you will, but you can see that there is what looks to be another, like, incredibly decayed body crunched up inside the brambles, much deeper than the drow was. And this body is essentially like bones and maybe some vague strips of sinew that's just kind of crunched into an awful position, and sort of next to one of its hands there looks to be some kind of staff that's sort of gnarled and smashed in there.
Hey, little dummy, you think you could work your way in there and like pull that out?
Little dummy looks towards you and looks over and kind of shrugs and starts to glide over. Okay, yeah.
And Gilder, could you maybe help?
Gilder will skitter over there with little dummy. The two of them are able to carefully start moving through this space towards the staff. It's about 15 feet into the thicket. As they start to move in, they get about 5 feet in, and they have to move pretty slow.
Yeah.
You both notice that the brambles start to move and tighten around them.
Nope, abort! Get out of there!
And they start to go to exit. And yeah, they're able to quickly, because they didn't use all their movement, they're able to quickly pull back out before the brambles restrain fully around them.
Do you think it's worth trying to check if that thing's magical? Or do we want to just get out of here?
Just kind of want to get out of here, if that's
Hey.
all right.
Can't win them all.
Okay.
I don't have the useful spell for this.
All right. You turn around and continue to find your way out.
Locate object.
You turn around and start to wind your way back out. Thankfully, no more checks required at this point.
We just failed them all.
You failed them all, and are able to start to pick up on some of the patterns in here, and it takes you a little while. In fact, yeah, I will say it takes you a full hour to finally get out of this place, leaving you with 2 hours to supposedly get to the Wandering Emporium. And you see your lumbering war machines parked there out front of the bone brambles.
So do you think this is sort of thing where I could like spend an hour kind of like tinkering and getting that one fixed up a little bit more, and we just
arrive there after another hour?
Yeah. I'm not willing to guess. Let's do the experiment first before assuming that the hypothesis is correct.
Could you rephrase that?
Bone finger thingy. Bring us to the blood fields at Ulak.
The little hand whips over in a direction and starts to point. You hop into your vehicles and take off, leaving the bone brambles behind. Driving across the wastes, after about 2 hours, you start to see the landscape shifting away from this kind of red, dry... Oh no, we lost Olive. Well, I have to wait a minute here. There we go.
Sorry, don't know what happened.
It's okay. You're fine. You start to see the landscape shift away from this dry, cracked red earth into what looks to be like pools and rivulets and rivers and creeks of running blood. And poking up out of these pockets and rivers and pools of blood are just remnants of corpses. You can also see the incredibly rusted and decayed hulks of war machines that have been lost who knows how long ago, that are just sinking and rotting in the muck. Traveling through this new landscape, you see something up ahead, though, that catches your eye. there is what almost looks to be like kind of a raised little hill or a knoll that kind of flattens out, and resting atop of that amongst this swampy landscape of blood and carnage is a vibrant collection of brightly colored tents and awnings that are striking in this environment. You can see there's kind of like smoke and haze rising off this collection of tents and carts and such, and surrounding them are infernal war machines that are even bigger than your demon grinder. They look to be slightly different in their construction. These are like almost, they have probably 6 wheels each, and they tower above this landscape, probably a good 20 feet up, and they all seem to be kind of bulky and kind of like stout in their construction, almost like they have almost like a flattened a platform on top of them, and you can see that some of them indeed have other like tents and structures that have been raised up on top of them, and there are a total of 9 of these massive vehicles that are kind of arranged in a horseshoe-like configuration. You're approaching the kind of what would be the entrance. So these vehicles are essentially forming a makeshift wall. And you can see that atop many of these vehicles, there are figures that look to be stationed on various armaments that are kind of pointing outwards. The final detail that you notice is that strung all across the open, almost courtyard of this impromptu market are like glowing red infernal lights that from a modern perspective would almost look like, you know, market Christmas light style things that are kind of like strung across this. But these like wires of lights kind of almost I guess not chaotically, but they're like dangling in this kind of strange pattern across. And there's other almost like wind chime-esque plaques of iron that are dangling off of it as well, that just kind of gently move and clank as you approach. As you come barreling up towards this impromptu market up the hill and get to the entrance of it, these smells start to hit you, and the smells actually smell quite pleasant. They're full of rich flavor and smokiness and spice and herb. Calliope, you get sense of like industry, like and you can hear the sound of work happening in this space, like the sound of probably a blacksmith or something, of loud metallic you, Kadam, start to hear that murmur and rumble of people in this space, many people. And as you approach, you can see smaller war machines parked out in front of this place, and see a crowd of denizens mingling within this space, going in and out of tents. And at the far back of this horseshoe, there's one very large, extravagant tent with kind of purple awnings, and it seems to have a sign over the top. There's also a sign right at the entrance as you approach, and as you approach it, it's odd. You see at first what look to be a bunch of incomprehensible symbols, and as you get closer, they seem to sort of shift. It was Kadam, was Common, do you think that would have been your first language growing up?
Alongside Elvish, yes.
Alongside Elvish? Do you think you would have been reading more in Elvish or more in Common?
More in Common.
Okay, so then you see it spell out in Common. And Calliope, do you think you would have spoken a different language?
I think Gnomish.
Gnomish,
actually.
okay. So
I think in Lambtown, there's a lot of like it's kind of like academic writing.
Yes.
And like my folks were academics and were yeah, take this manuscript.
So yeah, you see Gnomish then spell out the sign at the front says, "All are welcome here. No fighting, no spell casting, no exceptions." And as you are approaching, you see what look to be like 3 hobgoblins come out, all in kind of ramshackle armor with various different weapons. 2 of them look to have these like big infernal heavy iron crossbows. One of them has a big heavy glaive, and they kind of march out as you approach, and you see them sort of, they're basically, directing parking. They like are directing you off to the side, and if you follow their directions, you start to pull over to the side, and they kind of follow you and guide you into a spot as you pull in and park, and they just kind of...
My first ever parking job.
Yeah, Kadam. Yeah, how does that go, Kadam? It's like, are you parked way too close to Calliope, or is it like a huge gap between?
It's a huge gap.
Yeah.
Kadam's being extremely cautious.
They don't really seem to care that much. The hobgoblins, they just sort of like are just trying to get you into a spot. But yeah, as you hop out, you see the 3 of them just kind of eyeing you, but they don't really do anything. They just kind of slowly walk back into their position, which seemed to be kind of a guard position at the front of this horseshoe configuration. But there's no like formal check-in or anything as you arrive.
Let's look around.
Okay. As you enter into this space, the kind of landmarks that you see, and then you can decide where you want to go. At the back, there's the big, vibrant purple awning, and you do see the sign above that says Infernal Rapture. Kind of to the right of that, Calliope, it catches you because you hear that sound of like work, like blacksmith and tinkering going on, and you see indeed there's like sparks and something happening over there, and the awning over there is kind of a deep fiery red with like black accents, almost like magma, and above that there's a sign that says Fire Snake Forge, and you can see under the darkness of the awning there's like sparks going off. You see there's almost a fiery glow within. Smoke is emanating out from in there, and you even see little humanoid shapes that seem to be made of like magma and fire flitting about inside. To the left of the Infernal Rapture, you see a pretty like humble, small little tent that's set up, and there's not really much to like indicate what it is. It just looks like a little space where somebody could go into like whatever this place is offering. And above it, you can barely make out a sign that says Bernie the Barber, which is just this little like humble tent off to the left of the Infernal Rapture. There is a person that seems to be sitting outside patiently in a chair that is just like reading a book. And it looks to be a human woman who has, Kadam, you recognize like traditional Kalashite clothing on, and she's just sitting there reading a book patiently.
It ain't what's her face, is it?
You don't recognize this person.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not Farinor or
Feanor.
Feanor. It's not Feanor.
Yeah.
You don't recognize this.
Who's
person.
Feanor?
The necromancy human woman
right.
I spoke with.
To the left of that, you see another shop. This one seems to be almost part of the infernal war machine, like a little, like, you know, like a motorhome, like a piece has kind of like
Or
come
like a food
out.
truck.
Yeah, like a food truck, like a piece has kind of come out, and it's very like industrial looking, and you see there's kind of a little line waiting to get inside, and you see these almost like chutes and vents kind of all at the top of this little structure, and you just see this constant flow of like imps that are just kind of whizzing in and out of this space, and you notice that they are clutching what look to be like various missives and packages and
The
things
mail.
like that. To the right of the Fire Snake Forge, there's this totally chaotic mess of a tent that has kind of pushed up against the whole main bulk of this infernal war machine. There is just like a chaotic mess of like barrels and bottles and flasks and stuff, and there looks to be a pretty strong presence of like hobgoblin and let me see the other there's a few hobgoblin. There look to be these humanoids with kind of bat-like wings that are kind of perched around the space. They're all just kind of keeping watch, and inside you see this human, you think, who is having some sort of chaotic conversation with a customer, and this human, as they're moving their arms around, you see that their arms are tentacles that are like flopping around, and you notice that they are missing their ears. They have no ears, and they're just like flopping their tentacles around as they're having this frantic conversation. That place is called Ickers Away. And the last two kind of big shops that stand out is one directly to the right of that place. There is a tent set up, and inside you see this, what looks to be a very like old, bitter hobgoblin who's kind of crouched over, crotchety face, who's haggling with a customer right now. And behind him there are like sacks and sacks and sacks of something that in each sack you see there's like things moving and squirming inside. And that place is called Zenith's Larva Farm. The final spot that you catch that stands out to you, there are like other like smaller shops that don't really have signs. It looks like this is almost, you know, farmers market-esque or something where people can set up, much like the Knucklebones. I'm sorry, there's two more that stick out to you. There's the Rose Repose, and out in front you see what looks to be like a garden. There's just like plants and flowers and stuff that are like sprouting in planter boxes and things out in front of this place, this like very beautifully adorned tent. And there also appear to be a bunch of like fine jewelry on display in kind of the more in the front entrance area. And you realize it looks like there's skeletons that are moving around, like attending to the things. And the final one you see is a place called the Equinox, which looks to be a kind of rounded tent that at the front there's kind of one little area that you can see into this darkened space that's like lit with incense and has like kind of strange green arcane lighting the inside. And inside there's you saw one of these, Kadam, when you went to the Knucklebones, kind of a fox-like humanoid creature. It's not a jackalware, it's something else.
Yeah.
And inside it looks like there's just very properly organized shelves of all kinds of strange baubles and components. I suspect it's probably like spell components, but like more commonly found spell components. So that's what you see. There's a lot of places you can try to go here, and of course you can just go wherever, but those are like the big landmarks that you spot.
As you turn to Calliope to like make eye contact and check in, she's already like entranced like a pixie towards this forge. Of just like, I'm just what's going on over here?
Okay.
I'll follow her.
Okay, so Calliope, you just like start pushing your way through this marketplace, going all the way towards the back, pushing past various denizens. You see like what look to be Dwergar and hobgoblins, and there's many devil folk here, all like trying to push through and get to the various marketplaces. And as you get closer to this forge, you can see in the darkened space the light is starting to illuminate, and you realize the light is coming from like various forge pieces, but a lot of the light is coming from these little tiny like magma creatures, these little humanoid creatures that are kind of flitting about almost like fairies, like grabbing various instruments and taking them over to what look to be the primary like proprietors of this place that are working away vigorously at various projects. There are 3 of these large, like I'm talking probably 8 to 10 feet long, a good 7 to 8 feet tall, serpent-like creatures that are glowing with like hot like magma and fire, and they have like wisps of this strange like purple coloration going throughout them, and they're kind of snake-like, but they have arms at the top and a strange humanoid face that kind of extends out into a snout, and there's these tendrils of weird bits coming off the heads like barbels and things, and these snake-like creatures are just working away furiously and like gesturing to the little mephit creatures that are flying about. And you see that there are also just full-on animated suits of armor that are helping them as well.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
I'm at first gonna just like poke around to see like what they have on display, but I think pretty quickly get pulled into like watching them work specifically.
Yeah.
And how's that work?
Quick,
just like mumbling to like
Sure.
herself.
A quick glance. They seem to mainly be selling weapons and armor that are all on display, and you see like a wide swath and array of weapons and armor. So basically anything you could find is here. You see that as you're watching them work, though, you see like 2 of them are indeed just churning out various like weapons and armor, and they're working with incredible skill. One of them, though, is off to the side in a little like almost like a kind of like a garage area, and is indeed like working furiously on what looks to be an incredibly damaged tormentor, like one of the smaller war machines that's been brought in here. And you see, it's just with some assistance from the animated art, there's a few animated armors next to it, but mainly by itself, it's like pulling up one of these massive saw blade like wheels and just sliding it into place and picking out these massive tools and then like slithering underneath and working on the components inside.
That'd be so much easier if I had like a garage or like being able to move that sort of stuff around. Interesting. Are all of the like weapons and armor mundane, or is there magical stuff?
The majority of them all look to be mundane. You do see a smaller collection that is kind of, tucked away, like you'd probably have to ask for it, of what look to be like the infernal weapons that, like the one that Valor has.
I'm specifically looking for a +1 shield.
Gotcha.
If there's anything that looks like that.
It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's all just normal weapons and armor here.
Boring. This tormentor work, though. interesting to see how they're repairing. We have a tormentor to repair.
As you're saying this, one of the snake-like creatures notices you and kind of turns the head and sets down their tools, and they kind of slither up, and you can feel the heat starting to radiate off this creature as it slides up to you. You also realize, like, all of the material here, like the tables and things like that, it's all just like made of metal, and the sort of like tarp thing above that's like they got the bright colors on it is clearly made from some kind of like treated something, like a leather or something that is like not flammable. But this creature slides up to you and looks at you.
Hi, can I help you?
My name is Legend. I'm just looking around. It's a fascinating place you got here. We also have a tormentor that I'm trying to fix up, so I don't know. I'd love to see how y'all are doing that. It's super interesting.
Well, we offer repairs for a price if you would like to have yours repaired.
What are you charging for that sort of work?
50 gold per hour.
And how much do you think you can get done in an hour? It's pretty wrecked. It's holding on by a thread. Let me tell you, it was hell getting it put together enough to even get here.
We would have to take a look at the extent of the repairs.
Okay. That'd be very interesting to me. Very interesting.
Would you like to bring your vehicle over here?
Yeah, sure.
Hi.
And the creature turns. Let's see. I don't think any of you speak this language. It's
Primordial? No.
Yeah. It starts to speak in a language none of you understand. That's just this strange kind of like bursting, it's like pops of fire and crackling and almost metallic. It's really odd, like as it starts to shout out orders, and a bunch of the little fire mephits and like 2 of the armor pieces come strolling out to you, and this creature turns back to you.
They'll help you bring your vehicle into the garage. Just lead them to it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So without drawing it out too much, you can show them where the vehicle is, and they all kind of help you guide it into this garage space next to the other damaged Tormentor. I think what happens is that the big hulking machine behind them, you watch as you realize that their machine in particular, like each machine seems to be kind of bespoke. Theirs looks to be 3 separate machines that are somehow interlocked together, and so one of them kind of sort of like unlatches and pulls out to make a new opening so you can bring your tormentor in through the back, and then they kind of link back together, and you have your vehicle here in this little garage space. They start
That's very interesting. That's an interesting thought there.
Our own design.
And they start to look over the vehicle. So
Tormentor is at 1 out of 60 HP, and I think it's at 1 more point of exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
And then Demon Grinder is about at half, 120 or 118 out of 200.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna say. For 50 gold, they can do 50 gold repair work per hour. So 50 gold guaranteed to accomplish whatever the thing is you want to do. So if you want to pay 50 gold, they can repair the exhaustion level in an hour. If you want to get hit points back, it'll be 50 gold, and then we do the roll. Oh, I think we lost you, Olive. And I'm hearing some weird feedback. No! No.
No.
I was gonna look up.
I'm inclined to throw a couple hours at it.
But like we can do the rest of it.
Yeah, but if we're gonna be here for a couple hours anyway, just wandering around, doing some shopping, etc.
Sorry, did we say how much health they can restore?
Yeah, so for hit points, let me find where is trying to find repairing.
It would just be nice to get it more than 1 HP.
Mm-hmm.
Repairs.
I can work on the demon grinder, maybe. Do that. We don't have to bother them with it.
Hit points. Here we go. Okay, so normally you do repairs and you regain 2d4 plus 2 hit points after making a check. I would say
2d4 plus 4?
That's
plus
nothing.
2. 2d4 plus
Plus 2, that's nothing!
Yeah, these are, it's hard. I would say with the resources they have here, per hour, we'll call it 4d4 plus 2. So basically a greater healing potion. So per hour, 50 gold. They can either do 4d4 plus 2 repair work or repair a level of exhaustion.
I'm willing to throw like 100 gold at this.
Yeah, same.
Okay, cool. Let's just resolve.
Just get it ready. That's all I need.
Ah, yes, of course.
So go ahead and mark off 100 gold, and let's just resolve this now. Go ahead and roll 4d4 plus 2, and you can add those hit points.
I want to roll 8d4 plus 2. Plus 4.
Oh, you're not doing exhaustion? You're just doing the repair work.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh, okay.
exhaustion.
Great,
Fine,
okay.
fine.
Yeah, go for
okay.
it. So 8d4 plus 4.
25.
Nice. Go ahead and mark 25 hit points back to your vehicle.
Cool. Just up to 26.
That's a hit.
Awesome. So that Calliope, that was you. You got this this, and you can see them working on it, and they are like they
Do all the heavy stuff. I can do the fiddly stuff.
they have the tools, they have the resources to do a lot of the work that's very hard to do
I'm
out
just
in the
gonna
field.
hover over their shoulders and backseat drive and micromanage and probably be a terrible customer.
Oh my god, awesome. So you're doing that. Kadam, what about you?
I want to go everywhere. But I'm gonna go to Equinox first.
Okay. You head over.
And I'm also keeping an eye out for any werefolk that I might recognize.
Werefolk.
I'm looking for werefolk.
Okay.
As I'm doing all this.
Sure. Go ahead and make a
You
perception
give
roll.
like the up nod, you're like, hey.
They just look at you.
I can't roll worth beans today. 10.
10. Yeah, you don't see any werefolk. And you head over to the Equinox and head inside this rounded tent. And as you step inside quickly, the space seems bigger than it should. You've experienced this before. It's odd, but you've experienced it before. And you can just see it is like a kind of large circular space with concentric shelves kind of going out from the center, and in the center is this circular desk sort of spot where it looks to be the main owner is sitting. This jackal-like figure wearing really big, thick spectacles and kind of adjusts and looks at you. They look to be kind of like they got like that almost salt and pepper, but like with the red foxy hair. They're just like covered in little grays everywhere, looking at you, and they look up and go,
Oh, welcome. What can I do for ya?
Hello. I am hoping to both buy and sell.
Very well. Let's start with the selling. What do you got?
I will take off the circlet that I'm wearing,
okay.
and also pull out the bag of devour and nicely fold it up.
Wow, okay. Quickly, this figure looks them over and adjusts those spectacles, and you see them kind of click something on them, and it sort of, and there's a little like flash and a bunch of runes go, and they look over the bag, and they look at the other one and click again, and then they look back at you.
That one there is really dangerous.
I am aware.
All right, let's see. The circlet of blasting, if you don't mind helping me here, what is the rarity of that?
I believe it's uncommon.
Uncommon, okay. Uncommon. Okay, cool. So.
This bag, that one is, could be really useful. People might want to get their hands on that. I'd be willing to give you, 26,000 gold pieces for that one.
Just gonna roll a. Alright. I maintain my composure, hearing the largest number of gold pieces I have ever heard in my life.
Uh-huh.
Do I feel like that? Do I have any idea whether that is a good deal or not?
Make an insight roll.
Come on, something above. Okay, that's good. That's acceptable. 24.
24? My goodness. Seems like this individual is, like, you get the sense they're probably trying to get it for cheaper than it might be worth.
I understand that this is quite the useful bag under certain circumstances and for particular people. I was thinking you might be able to do me a little bit better than that.
A little better than that. Well, what do you want from me? Come on, I run a business here.
I am interested. Perhaps we could do the 26,000 and some spell components.
Go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
You got this. You got this.
Okay. That is also acceptable. 23.
Wait, okay. What do you need? What do you need? We can work something out.
Sure. Do you have the ability to inscribe runes upon a pre-existing object to further its enchantment?
You're gonna want to go. You're gonna want to go over to the forge for something like that.
All right.
I work with them though. I could give you yeah. I'll work something out with them. To make this part of the deal. I provide them with materials sometimes, so for something like that, yeah. Okay.
I see. All right. Do you have 4 strips of ivory worth 50 gold each?
Yeah. That's fine, yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna hand over my list.
Sure. Yeah, and you sent me that list, which I don't.
Wait, could you say what some more of them are, just for fun?
As much powdered silver as you can carry, as much powdered iron as you can carry, so much more incense than you can carry. Holy water, herbs and oils worth 500 gold pieces, a gold reliquary worth 500 gold. Any diamonds.
So.
Any diamond dust.
All right, so the powdered silver, the powdered iron, the incense, the strips of ivory, and the rune inscriptions. All of those. Oh, the herbs and oils, you can get that here as well.
Okay.
I would say, yeah, let's just make this simple. And those things, so powdered silver, powdered iron, incense, ivory, rune inscriptions, and oil, herbs and oils. That can all be included with this deal. So you get the 26,000 gold, and those materials. They do kind of scurry over with you to the forge and make some quick arrangements, and you see they pass over some material. I want to work with you a little bit here. So the people of the forge, these snake creatures, they will be doing the intricate engraving work while this Arcanoloth is kind of guiding them and giving them some kind of material to like put into the engravings. What do you think that material would be? Like, what do you imagine that material being that's kind of being laid into it? Let's see.
I like the idea of, I mean, it's a silver-backed mirror. It's like an old-fashioned mirror, so it is made of silver. I'm wondering if we could do like platinum inlay with topaz. Is it?
Okay.
No. Oh well. Oh, it's like okay. Yeah, let's do blue topaz.
Blue topaz. Okay, cool. So they get to work, and it'll take a little time, but they are able to do this, and you no longer have the bag of devouring, and you get these materials. For the circlet of blasting, this individual is willing to give you 200 gold for that.
Sure.
Okay, so that is gone as well. You get an additional 200 gold. For your other material, if you kind of are going through your list, this individual goes,
those other things you're looking for, you're gonna want to go over to the Rose.
The Rose Repose?
Yeah. You might be able to find some of those things there.
Thank you very much for your help. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Anything else?
No, I hope you have a pleasant day.
Okay. See ya.
And you get your stuff.
That's so much money. Oh my god.
It's an insane amount of money. Calliope,
I'll buy dinner tonight.
Calliope, what would you like to do as Kadam is doing all that shopping there? Do you want to go anywhere else?
I think Calliope does bring up the idea of, hey, do you like it? Infuse magic into like existing items. I have a shield that, like, it's fine, but it could be better.
The one, and I'm just gonna call them what they are. The one salamander that you were interfacing with turns to you.
After I've been harassing him for 2 hours.
Yeah. They look at you.
We can do that type of work,
Yeah.
but it takes quite a lot of time
Yeah.
and resources. What are you looking to enchant?
A shield. Just, give it a little something.
We could probably do that. Would
I'm in money.
time and money, yes.
You just want a +1 shield?
Yep.
Is that? I think that's like considered an uncommon magic item.
It's true, yes.
Okay.
I just want my numbers higher.
Yeah.
Is that too much to ask?
So for that,
For 1,500 gold, we could probably get that done within...
Let's see.
Thank you for the quote.
1,500 probably...
I'll keep it in mind.
So you're not interested?
Oh, how long would it take?
Well,
Just curious.
within 48 hours, we could probably have that done.
I'll keep it in mind. I'll get back to you on that one.
Of course. Do you have places to be? Perhaps over there with your friend?
And you see them trying to
I've been
like,
chilling for a bit.
they're kind of like trying to shoo you away.
Remember what I said about like I think you could improve the efficiency of that like
Go.
loader over there. Yeah.
Leave this place.
So they turn back to do their work. Okay, so you want to go join up with Kadam?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say actually this is like right as you go to turn to leave, and you see that Kadam is currently also leaving the Fireforge with this fox-like figure, this jackal-like figure, and yeah, you can meet up.
Her mentor's looking, in better shape. But I wanted to get them to like enchant an item, but it doesn't matter. We can't afford it. How do you
might
think?
be able to. Well, what you looking for?
The shield a couple times, like things have like pierced it, and it's like, back in El Toro, we had better shields and stuff like that. I didn't have it on my hand. I didn't think I'd be coming to a fight.
Calliope?
Uh-huh.
Would you like a new shield?
I mean, did you find one? Did they have one there?
I'm sure I could find one for you.
Yeah, sure.
I'll turn around and take her back to the floor.
We're back.
You see as you approach Kadam, you pick this up. You see this salamander fully tense up, hearing Calliope's voice, and then
redirect to a different salamander.
slowly turn around. The other two are like at the back, working away furiously at the weapons at the back. This other salamander slithers up to you both.
Oh, you're back so soon.
My friend here would like an enchanted shield.
Yes,
I was
I
wondering
gave
if that
the
would be
quote.
possible.
Yes, 1,500 gold in 48 hours, and you can get your shield.
We'd have to come back.
48 hours.
Yes, 48 hours.
Could that be rushed?
We don't.
Sure.
No, what? Can't afford that.
That could be rushed for 3,200 gold. Get it done in 24 hours.
24 hours.
Hey, how long are we gonna be watching?
We also
Red Race?
accept soul coins.
Thank you.
How long do you think we're gonna be watching Red Wraiths?
Well, I was thinking maybe Red Ruth could bring it back for us.
Oh, that'd be great. Well, apparently she places like a really high value on like standard errands. So I don't know if we can afford her rates. But we could just come back afterwards.
So, do you want the shield?
Yes, please.
Great, soul coins are gold.
Gold.
Exchange the gold over. Go ahead and mark off 3,200. And immediately this salamander turns towards the other two and lets out this like strange, almost geyser-like high-pitched like whistle sound. And the two of them flip around to look at this salamander, and the salamander starts like doing some hand signals and speaking to them in their primordial language, and they all start scurrying about the place, and you see them getting to work.
John, where did you get 3,200 gold?
From the very nice fox at Equinox.
The bag? The bag.
It was worth a lot.
I would have liked to take a closer look at it. Just, it's fine.
Well, you might.
How much you have?
26,000. Well, still 23,000 now.
You could find a lab on that.
I'm sure I could. I don't know what a lab really is, but I'm sure I could.
What?
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I am intrigued by Bernie the barber, specifically the woman sitting outside of it. Just because, oh my goodness, must speak with the other humans.
Sure. Mind if I tag along?
Not at all. I would welcome your company.
Okay.
Is she still sitting there?
Yeah, she seems to be sitting there patiently reading a book. Yeah. Let me see here.
I'm gonna pull out one of my books
Okay.
and just carry it with me back, past her field of view.
Okay.
Just to see if she'll.
Are you going to go into her shop, or are you?
Oh, is she?
I guess you don't know if she's the
Yeah.
shop owner. Are you going into the little tent, or are you just walking past this spot?
I'm walking past this spot.
Okay. And you want to see if she takes notice. What's the book that you have?
So I have 3 books on physical and emotional trauma from. This is the scary place.
The scary place.
The one scary place we've been.
Oh,
Marin.
Vermillion. Okay.
There we go.
Vermillion. Yeah. Okay. And you have a book on physical and emotional trauma. Okay. And you have that out, and you go walking past this individual.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to are you doing the I'm gonna see if they notice thing?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So Calliope, you're also following Kadam as you walk past this place. Yeah, Kadam, you walk past, and as you are kind of approaching, you immediately see them just sort of look up from their book and notice you. Are you trying to be subtle about looking at them, or do you are you trying not for them to notice you?
No, I am. I'm trying
Okay.
to get their attention, but
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
want to feel I don't want them to feel forced to engage,
Sure.
but I'm offering them an opportunity should they want it.
So she looks up at you,
Hush, Clappy.
and Calliope, but she sees it's she looks up, immediately looks at you, your eye line, immediately notices, then does a quick little down at the book, and then back at you as you're continuing to move past, and then she just kind of smiles warmly at you and just sees what you do as you continue. What do you do? Yeah.
Well, I stop and grin back at her.
She sort of sets her book down and kind of waves to you, or she waves you over. She waves you over.
Yeah, I will come up.
Yeah. As you approach, she goes, "It's refreshing to see a friendly face."
I admit I feel the same way. I'm Lyra.
"Lyra, I'm Bernie." And she extends a hand out and shakes your hand. She looks kind of past you at you, Calliope.
Legend.
"Legend, nice to meet you."
I was expecting to see a barber shop down here in Avernus.
Oh, well, people need their, things taken care of. I do all the usual things, take care of your hair if you need it, but of course I provide medical attention if you need that. Anything you need. What, you, wow. Who are you? Why are you here?
Well, I have the same questions about you. We kind of ended up doing a bit of an odd errand for an acquaintance and found ourselves down here.
An odd errand for an acquaintance, and you found yourself in Avernus. Wow.
Yes.
What a story. I'll have to remember that one. I'm here trying to help people where I can.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah, go for it.
She seems too good to be true. 19.
A 19? Okay. She seems genuinely, like, pleased with meeting you. And as she kind of looks away for just a second to try to kind of gather her thoughts, you swear you see, like, just it's so brief you're not certain if you saw it. Like it could have been a play of the light, but there was almost a flash of almost like a flash of light in her eyes for just a second, and then it was gone. Not like a reflective eye shine of like a predator. Like it was like almost a glowing metallic flash or something, just for a moment, and then it was gone. But she kind of takes a moment to gather her thoughts. Well, do you need anything? I could give you a
If
little
you
touch
would
up
be-
if you want, or
If you have like a hot oil soak, that would be amazing.
oh well, yes, I won't have anything that can compete with Mahati, but yeah, of course I can do that for you. Would you like to come in?
Certainly. Legend, are you all right with that?
This ain't my scene. See ya.
Oh,
Well, it's
all right,
nice
all right.
nice to meet you, Legend. Please come in, Lyra. And she gets up and
What was your name?
oh, Bernie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bernie. Of course, you said that already.
Oh, it's quite all right. Yes, please come in. And she leads you inside her little modest tent. It's decently sized, and you can see there is, Kadam, you immediately recognize like all the things that a barber would need, in the very traditional sense of a barber. Things to do dental work, some medical work, attending to hair, and yeah, there is like a really basic kind of tub that can be filled.
Oh, I ain't looking for a bath. I'm looking for like for my dreads,
for your
hot
dreads.
oil.
Got it. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
to
Yeah.
A condition, essentially.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So she gets you all set up for that. Sets you up in a chair comfortably and starts
I do not
to go
want
to
to
work.
immerse my body in hot oil.
Yeah. My bad. I misheard. I thought you were looking for a bath. Yeah, she gives you a very, pleasant treatment. Let me see.
I will happily talk shop with her.
Yeah. What do you tell? She asks lots of questions. She's very curious about you. How much do you divulge about who you are, what your life, and what you do?
I think I tell her that I am a midwife from Baldur's Gate. I do not mention anything about magic or gods or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to talk about Baldur's Gate as a city and the crews and all that sort of thing. And I ask her about herself. I imagine I have at least passing familiarity with Kalashite culture, being right smack next to Little Kalimshan.
Yeah. Yeah. So she seems very interested in everything you have to say. Is a great conversationalist, a great listener. She does sometimes go on long tangents of like telling these wild stories that with your 19 insight, like, seems like she's definitely adding a lot of embellishments to try to get them to be more flavorful.
That's fine.
Yeah, when you ask about her, she tells a story of being with a group that in her youth found a way, they were basically sellswords, adventurers, mercenaries, but they were trying to go around, and she was, of the group, she was, like you, was like a cleric and was trying to guide people to change the world in ways that she thought was for the best. And at some point they ended up going on this mission that led them into Avernus, and her entire group died, and the one spellcaster who could plane shift died, and she had no way of getting out, and ended up here at the Wandering Emporium and decided she could make a difference in hell by purely offering this simple, humble service. And as she continues to talk, she kind of alludes to that she still has some of her divine magic. She's still able to provide some healing if need be. And she's like, through this whole process, is like kind of carefully inspecting you as well. And you don't have any ailments right now, right? Like no exhaustion or disease or
One
anything.
notable
I
one.
am cursed.
Oh, that's
supposedly
true. Oh, that's true. Yeah. That is true. Yeah, okay, so all of that is happening, and towards the end of your conversation, she does kind of look at you, and you see her kind of pause for a moment. Her face sort of softens, and then she kind of leans down for a minute after like finishing the service. It's okay if you don't want to. I can sense that you have lycanthropy, and it's okay. I'm not going to, I'm okay with it. You don't have to worry. I won't tell anyone if you don't want anyone to know, and
It ain't a secret.
Okay, yeah. I mean, down here, it's, you would be fine. I don't think anyone would bat an eye, actually, but... how are you feeling about that? Is this new? Is this something...
Very. What, 3-4 days ago? I can smell everything. All the time.
Yes, I'm sure you can.
But I haven't... I was told to watch for an itch. And I haven't really felt anything yet.
Well, it can be a hard thing to live with. And it can take control of your life. But there are those that find ways to control it. There may be a way to fully remove it, but it takes quite a lot.
I have not made a decision in either direction, frankly.
Of course.
Well, you're always welcome to come back and talk with me. I wouldn't be able to remove it from you, but I might be able to help guide you. Well,
What do you mean by God?
I could try to find answers for you. Anyways, I hope this service was acceptable. That'll just be 1 gold. And you're all set.
I hand her 10.
Oh, please, no. You really don't need to. It's quite all right.
Pass it on if you like.
Thank you. I will. And she tucks it away. As she tucks it away, there's just a brief moment where you get another scent, just like very sudden and very powerful, sort of wafting off of her that it catches you off guard. It's not, it doesn't smell like, you realize this whole time you haven't smelled the sweat and oil of like a mammal coming off of her. There's a weird, strange other scent that you can't place that comes off of her. But she tucks it away and turns back to you. Well, do you need anything else, or are you all set?
I think I'll take my leave for now. Thank you, Birdie.
Yeah, of course. And it was lovely to meet you, Legend. And she gives you a quick wink. Oh, come on. I'm sure.
Lyra. Legend is my friend.
Oh, she said, sorry. She said Lyra.
Oh,
she said
all right,
Lyra.
all
Yeah.
right.
Sorry. That was me forgetting. Yeah. So Lyra, and gives you a quick wink. Well then, have a lovely day in the Emporium, and please do be careful.
I'll leave.
Yeah, you leave and head back out into the Emporium. We're at 9 o'clock, so as you leave out into the busy, rustling chaos of the Emporium, you see many people moving past you, and we'll end with, I just want to know what Calliope went to go do as we finish up our stream here.
Good question. As I would ask, probably browsing. You said there was a bunch of other unnamed tents.
Yeah.
I think just browsing.
Just browsing.
What's that?
Okay, so
probably picking up more like bits and bobs for her artificer work.
Sure.
Like it's nothing like notable from like the spell component angle, but
yeah.
My artifice doesn't require just like a little feather and waving it around saying some words. It's physics. It makes sense. It follows laws.
So so Kadam, you leave, see this mass of strange, unique creatures moving about the space, and your eye line is drawn over to one of the smaller little vendors, and you see Calliope shouting that at the
about
vendor.
like a piece of string or something.
Yeah, shouting that at the vendor. It makes sense. And Calliope, this small little air genasi old lady, surrounded by like hulking devils and Yugoloths. And,
I guess yelling up at them.
Yeah, with little imps flying overhead in the sound and rustle of this chaotic space. And that's where we're going to end tonight's stream. Thank you, everybody, for joining tonight. We will see you next week, and we'll give Pip an opportunity to go shopping, and I'm sure start something.
Oh, yes.
All right. Thank you, everybody, and have a lovely night. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
I always do this. Okay, bye.